Happy Thursday, everybody. It is the 10th day of January 2019. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan Kuntz, your host, back at it again. Thanks for starting your day with us here on the NCW Live channel. If our analytics that we have show us anything, and they do, a lot of people were watching us last night at 6 o'clock as we broadcast live at the Numerica Performing Arts Center. We now have our top 10 Apple Blossom royalty candidates. We broadcasted last night live, and we'll show you the very moment when the top 10 gals were introduced to the general public. That'll be our top story when we get to news here in just a couple minutes. But a lot of people watched us on television, on our Facebook page, and on our web stream. We appreciate that. It's a good chance for people to see relatives and friends who don't necessarily live in the Wenatchee Valley. And they can't get our television station. Well, they can certainly go to our Facebook page and watch us there, or our live stream. Whatever is going on over the air or over your cable or however you get us is always streaming simultaneously at ncwlife.com. So we got a busy show for you today. We'll talk about the top 10. We've got other news to get to as well, including the latest development on the maybe not development or maybe so development on the Black Rock development in western Wenatchee. We'll talk about that when we get to the news. We have sports. I'm not going to lie to you, there's not a lot of sports to talk about. Kind of a quiet week in the world of prep sports. But what we have, we'll send your way. We have the obscure holiday, birthdays. Today in history, everyone is entitled to Mike McNally's opinion. It's Thursday. That means kennel cameos with our very own Megan McPherson. We'll see if we can find Joshua the cat home today. And in the second half of the program, she's a regular guest. Diana Haglund is the communications director for the Wenatchee School District, and they've got a lot of things on their plate. We touched on a lot of stuff when Diana came in and visited me yesterday, and that conversation will come your way in the back half of the hour. We also have your past report. Things are looking better. In fact, the whole weather is going to get a lot quieter and a lot drier than what it has been for the last couple of days. That forecast is coming up. So if you're ready, and I'm ready, let's take you around North Central Washington with our Valley View cameras, and there is the cross camera. Always begin whenever the cross camera is available to us, which is almost every weekday morning. There are some times when there'll be low clouds or fog that completely blocks the lens, then we don't use it. But on days like today, we can. So there we are, Wenatchee Valley. We call out the cross camera. It's located about 75, 80 feet to the east of the cross that we can all see at the very tip of Wenatchee Heights. A beautiful view of the Wenatchee Valley. And from this point forward, Megan, our producer, gets to decide where we're going to visit. And Megan says we're going to go see Omi Gardens. It's just gorgeous. I love that. Look at that lonely little cloud fog bank hovering over the Columbia River just to the north of the Otabashian Bridge. You can see the old station industrial area. Things are looking good there. That camera is about the same elevation, actually, as our cross camera. It just faces the other direction. Omi Garden camera there. Beautiful. Good stuff, Megan. What do we got? Camera 3 says, hello, Apple-Annies. That's cashmere. Look how bright and blue that looks. That's a combination of the bright lights, the LED lights, the street lights, and of course all that snow still on the ground makes it look kind of a cobalt blue, doesn't it? Good morning, Cashmere. Thanks for joining us. By the way, we're going to start seeing some snow melt. Not a big runoff. It's not going to be flooding or anything, but there's going to be a lot less snow on the ground by the end of the day today than there is right now. It's 30 degrees outside of our studios. And finally, camera 4 is, oh boy, okay, she's throwing a loop at me. Hose Landing? Hey, I got it right. Hose Landing. So you can't quite make out Antioch. You can see the Wenatchee Valley way off to your left. You can see the orchards on the Douglas County side of the river. That's Hose Landing, which is a pretty cool little site to visit. It's very hard physically to get there. Got to have the right kind of automobile. Even in the summertime and the wintertime, you're not driving there at all. You're hopping on a snowcat or a snowmobile to get to that site. That's all part of the Local-Tel Sky-Fi network. By definition, they have to be high up at the tops of ridges and towers and things. That's how the system works. It's a pretty cool system, though. It allows you to get really fast internet without having to have fiber run to your house. So that's Hose Landing. That's about, 10, 12 miles north of the Wenatchee Valley. I haven't been there for a while. I'm just spitballing. It's 5 minutes after the hour from the National Weather Service. Let's take a look at your weather forecast. Things are going to calm down quite a bit. Just a couple residual scattered rain showers here and there, some light drops. A little bit of freezing fog, a couple of snowflakes here and there for the morning, but that's really it. There's an upper level wave that's moving through the region, And so temperature is going to get considerably milder and very dry. In fact, we really don't have any precipitation at all in the forecast till we get to Wednesday of next week. In fact, if you've lived at any time at all in the Wenatchee Valley, you're used to the inversion layer when we get the low clouds and the fog and kind of get socked in this time of the year. That's what we're really going to have. The only real difference is we'll have a couple of sun breaks here and there, including today and again on Sunday, and also the temperatures are going to be above normal. It's been a very mild winter. By the way, yesterday's high, Wednesday's high, 33 degrees, happened at 11:23 last night. Very stable temperatures. It's one of the things that happens this time of year as well. The afternoon high and the overnight low sometimes are the other way around, and they don't really change very much. So really very quiet and dry, just nothing really dramatic, and quite frankly, I can live with that. And as you can see by these afternoon high temperatures, just about 39 or 40, we will have some snow melt, especially in the afternoon hours with the sun breaks coming out. But for the most part, patchy fog, some freezing fog here and there. Right now, we do have some freezing fog and 30 degrees outside of our studio. So that's the forecast. To the mountain passes we go. From the Washington State Department of Transportation, we got their pass cams up and running. That's a live shot of I-90. Snoqualmie Pass, a lot better than it was yesterday. They still have a traction tire advisory, but it's raining on I-90, and that's at the summit, and you can see quite a bit of pavement, quite a bit of asphalt. So it's looking pretty good, but they still have a traction tire advisory. Rain coming down, roadway is mostly bare and wet with some slush in places. It's not raining real hard. I-90 certainly looks quite passable, if you pardon the expression. Stevens Pass has a traction tire advisory. They're getting snow. Of course, Stevens is about 1,000 feet higher in elevation than I-90. It's 4,061 feet above sea level, so they have a tendency to get a little bit more snow, and that's what they're getting right now with some snow and slush in places on Stevens Pass. There's a traction tire advisory on US 2 as well. No advisories, no restrictions on Blewett Pass. Let's take a live look at US 97. Roadways mostly bare and wet. You'll find some snow and slush in places on those little areas where the sun doesn't hit and the snow doesn't melt as fast. The only thing you need to worry about right now on Blewett Pass is some very dense fog. You'll be cruising right along, no problems at all, and then boom, you'll run into a fog bank and your visibility will go down to almost nothing. So heads up on there, dense fog is your main concern on Blewett Pass, but there are no advisories or restrictions there. Stevens does have a traction tire advisory with some snow and slush on the roadway. It's raining on I-90 with a traction tire advisory, and there's no real weather at all for the mountain passes for quite some time. I got no snow. I mean, maybe an inch of snow on Stevens Pass today. That's really all they're expecting. Nothing at all on I-90 and in Blewett. I'm looking at the forecast for the mountain passes. They're just looking at anywhere between mostly cloudy to partly sunny skies, temperatures just above freezing, and no snow and no real precipitation once they get through this last little wave today. So if you have mountain pass travel plans this weekend, I don't think you're going to have any problems at all. It's looking really good indeed. 8:18. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we got the news, including we're going to replay that 4-minute segment when 10 lovely young ladies from the East Wenatchee School District's lives may have changed permanently. The top 10 royalty announcement. We'll lead off our news when we come back in 1 minute. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live this morning from Studio 3 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Live channel.
Bay Equity Home Loans in Wenatchee, serving all of North Central Washington. We make it our priority to learn all about your financial needs. Whether you're buying your first home, refinancing, or want a reverse mortgage, our mortgage professionals are ready to guide you through the loan process. We have a wide variety of loan products to fit your family's needs. Call Bay Equity Home Loans of Wenatchee today for your pre-approval. 509-888-0466.
Everything we do is about delivering very high quality care and keeping our patients safe.
We really work as a team here, and so that's really what makes it worthwhile.
I give 100% every day, and I do that because I work for a company that I believe gives 100% back to me.
The bottom line is we genuinely care about our employees.
It is the most incredible place to work, and you will be inspired every day.
Minutes after the hour here on this edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Some patchy fog, 30 degrees, some clouds as well. We'll have a couple of sun breaks this afternoon with a high of about 40 degrees and very mild and very quiet weather is your long-term forecast. Here's what's making headlines. Our cameras were at the Numerica Performing Arts Center last night for the unveiling of the final 10, the top 10 candidates vying for the Royal Court for the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival's centennial. And here it is.
Congratulations, candidate Bailey White.
Congratulations, candidate Citlali Gonzalez Arroyo.
Mama said, fulfill the prophecy, be something great. Go make a legacy, manifest destiny. Back in the days, we wanted everything, wanted everything. Mama said, burn your biographies, rewrite your history, light up your wildest dreams.
Congratulations, candidate Olivia Lancaster.
Mama said, don't give up, it's a little complicated, all tied up, no more love, and I'd hate to see you waiting. Had to have high hopes for a living, shooting for the stars, but I couldn't make a killing.
Congratulations, candidate Cassidy Cunningham.
Congratulations, candidate Ellie Toth.
Mama said, don't give up, it's a little complicated, all tied up, no more love, and I'd hate to see.
Congratulations, candidate Lucy Gomez.
So I got one more run, and it's gotta be a sight to say, hey, hey, hey. Had to have high hopes for a living, shooting for the stars when I couldn't make a killing. Didn't have a time.
Congratulations, candidate Maria Elena Metziger. Congratulations, candidates Lorena Zepeda.
Congratulations, candidate Savannah Slife.
And our final candidate. Congratulations, candidate Elizabeth Popoff.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2019 top 10 candidates for the 100th Washington State Apple Blossom Festival.
There you go, your top 10. They will be vying for the Royal Court, the Queen of the Two Princesses, for the 100th Apple Blossom Festival. And of course, the Royalty Selection Pageant will be held on Saturday, February 9th, 7 o'clock at the Wenatchee High School Auditorium. Tickets go on sale Monday, the 14th at 9 o'clock at the festival office at 2 South Chelan, or you can get them online at appleblossom.org. Don't forget, all the tickets are reserved and the process begins. Best of luck to those 10 ladies. In other news this morning, the city of Wenatchee will not be reconsidering its approval of the Black Rock Terrace subdivision despite a request from the state to do so. The State Attorney General's office, on behalf of the Department of Fish and Wildlife, had told the city the 13-acre, 17-home foothills development threatens mule deer habitat. But in his denial, hearings examiner Andy Kottkamp pointed out that Fish and Wildlife did not attend either of the two public hearings on the proposal, was asked at his request only for clarity on access restrictions. With the denial, any opposition to the subdivision will now need to be filed in the Chelan County Superior Court by February 1st. Federal workers furloughed due to the governmental shutdown may apply for unemployment benefits to help them meet their financial obligations while they wait to return to work. That is from the Washington State Employment Security Department, coming down on Tuesday. Due to the shutdown, furloughed workers should be prepared to provide verification of their wages when requested because, well, the ESD may be unable to reach their employers to verify their wages. Valid documents could include a copy of your pay stub or a W-2 form. More than 73,000 federal employees work in the state of Washington as of the first quarter of last year. The ESD has received unemployment benefit applications from about 1,000 workers since the furlough started, as required by law, by the way. Workers, when you receive back pay, you're going to have to pay back any benefits you received during your furlough. Newly appointed Wenatchee School Board member Karina Vega-Villa, sworn in office by Chelan County Superior Court Judge Travis Brandt during ceremonies prior to Tuesday's board meeting. Vega-Villa, seen here with her husband and 2 children, selected from a field of 5 finalists to replace Dr. Walter Newman, who resigned in November. Vega-Villa is an adjunct biology instructor and program director for the Math, Engineering, and Science Achievement Program at Wenatchee Valley College. The MESA program offers academic and professional support services to qualifying students who intend to transfer to 4-year universities in pursuit of science, technology, engineering, or math majors, or as we know by now, the STEM majors. Well, the mayor of Tonasket came under fire during Tuesday's regular city council meeting. The Okanagan County Chronicle reports the town's mayor, Dennis Brown, was accused of asking a former city police officer, Jose Perez, to change his name from Jose to Joseph because it sounded too, and I'm quoting now, stereotypical to Hispanic, end quote. The mayor has denied the accusations, explaining that the name change was a translation. Perez approached the city council this week with his complaint.
My name is Jose Perez, former police officer in Tonasket. On a date and time, I have it written down. The mayor walked into the office, he told me, I changed your name from Jose to Joseph because Jose sounds too stereotypical.
Wow. And you stood up there and lied?
It sounds too Hispanic.
And you just lied. You just denied it?
You represent our town.
Witnessed. He asked me to introduce myself to the public as Joseph. We went on a ride-along. In that ride-along, we met a citizen. That citizen introduced himself. I introduced myself. I said, my name is Officer Jose Perez. Mayor looks at me. He says, what did we talk about? I went back and said, my name is Joseph Perez.
The Chronicle reports that Mayor Brown has been under a watchful eye from the public after the firing, rehiring, and then firing again of Police Chief Darren Odegaard last month and Officer John Cruz. Perez himself was terminated on Sunday, and now there's not even a police department in the city of Tonasket. The city has City Council member Jill Ritter has also announced at Monday's meeting that she is casting a no confidence vote against the mayor. Well, newly elected Chelan County Commissioner Bob Boogert says he's getting comfortable in his newly elected position. Boogert, who succeeds former District 2 Commissioner Keith Gaynor, says he's still on the learning curve as he starts his second week on the job.
A lot of time working with other county elected officials and department heads, going through a lot of the implementation for things in 2019. And a lot of work with Bill Larson as far as the jail and staffing changes there, that he's working on some restructuring issues there. And you know, the common theme, Steve, is that I am just continually impressed with the professionalism and the energy level of the people here that work for the county. They're truly great public servants, and it's truly an honor to be working with them. And so I'm very excited over this opportunity. Got a lot to learn, though, that's for sure.
Booger will represent the county's 2nd district, which encompasses parts of unincorporated western Wenatchee and goes up into the Upper Valley, including Cashmere, Dryden, Peshastin, Leavenworth Plain, and Lake Wenatchee. And among the projects he'll be overseeing is the replacement of the West Cashmere Bridge, or known as the Goodwin Bridge, which is scheduled to start this spring. And that is your headlines at 20 minutes after the hour on this Thursday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I'm Dan Kuntz. Don't forget, we have the news with Grant Olson coming your way at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. Grant with your headlines at 5, 6, and 10. He also handles our weather forecast. What happened on this Thursday? We'll let you know. You can watch it right here on the NCW Live channel. You can watch it on our Facebook page at about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. You can watch it on our website at about 5 o'clock in the afternoon as well. And at the bottom of the screen are all the different ways you can get a hold of us. Pick up the telephone and give us a call. Email us, news@ncwlife.com. Go to our Facebook page and private message us there, or you can go to our website at ncwlife.com. Click on the Contact Us icon, and you can either just send us a note or submit a news tip. Whatever it takes. All right, we love to hear from you. This is as much your station as it is ours. 21 minutes after the hour, when we come back. Sports, the obscure holiday. Today in history, birthdays, everyone is entitled to Mike McNally's opinion, kennel cameos, and my conversation with Diana Haglund, the communications director for the Wenatchee School District. It's a busy, busy Thursday. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Put winter weather in its place with a new Cub Cadet snow thrower from Rose Tractor. Hi, this is Corey. Let us help you get through the season with our line of Cub Cadet snow throwers. When it comes to snow, never let winter weather get in your way. The Cub Cadet X Series line of snow throwers offers 3 levels of snow clearing power and a host of award-winning models. Get ahead of the snow. Let us help you get into the right snow thrower for the job. Rose Tractor, family owned and operated, located at the corner of 3rd and Rock Island Road in East Wenatchee.
And we are back at 23 minutes after the hour on this Thursday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. High school scores from yesterday. None. Nothing going on. In fact, it's a super light schedule. Even today, there's just 2 events of note. That's it. The Davis and Eastmont wrestling match that was postponed on Tuesday is going to be held tonight in East Wenatchee. That starts at 7. And the first place Wenatchee Panther girls bowling team makes the trip to Sunnyside to take on the Grizzlies at 2 o'clock this afternoon. But there is a unique sporting event we wanted to spotlight this morning. They're going to be hitting the track this weekend at Leavenworth's Fest Hall. Yeah, our very own Caitlin Heddersheet filed this report.
A live-action roller derby tournament is hitting Leavenworth this weekend. It's the 5th annual Bavarian Brews Fest, hosted by local team Apple City Roller Derby.
We are doing Bavarian Brews Fest again this weekend, January 12th and 13th, up at the Fest Hall in Leavenworth. We have 10 teams coming from all over Washington State and Canada. So it was originally a one-day 6-team tournament, and now it's become this huge thing with it 10 teams and all weekend.
With derby, it is a full contact sport, and there's a lot of offense and defense. You have to really keep on your toes, look around you at all times, and yes, people do get bruised a lot.
The event is a fundraiser for the team with food and beer run by local nonprofit Upper Valley Mend. The tournament brings 10 teams to the Bavarian town from around the Pacific Northwest, including Canada.
So we have 3 pickup teams this year. We have Blair Hits Project, which is brand new. I think they've only played once or twice together. And we have Chaos Theory, who I think this is their 4th year in a row coming. And same with OBA, or Overbeaters Anonymous. Overbeaters Anonymous is my personal favorite because their logo is amazing, and all of their derby names are food related. So you have like Taco Truck and Me So Hungry and just some really, really funny derby names. So they're my favorite. And then Avalanche, which is from Canada, which is so awesome that they're coming.
Bavarian Brews Fest is a really great way for us to showcase the event, the sport, and our ability to put it on a great show for everybody around. It's a really great sense of community. It's athletically challenging. It's a lot of fun.
Tickets for the two-day tournament are available online or at the door, and the event also features a drag show by House of Voodoo on Saturday night.
So what they can expect is some really hard-hitting derby, and they can come in and out all day if they buy a weekend ticket. So they can check out the sites in Leavenworth, go grab a beer, go get some food, come back, watch a game or two.
House of Voodoo, it's going to be a drag show that we'll put on at the Fest Hall immediately following the last game Saturday night.
Pick up tickets for the drag show at the door for $5, and for a full schedule of the tournament or to buy your tickets in advance, visit applecityrollerderby.com.
Thank you very much, Kat. We appreciate it. One quick broadcasting note. We'll be at the Wenatchee High School Gymnasium tomorrow night for a girls-boys doubleheader. The West Valley Rams are going to be in town. The girls will get going at about 5:45, and the boys 20 minutes to follow. By the way, the boys game between the Panthers and the Rams, a battle for first place in the Columbia Basin Big Nine. We hope you watch tomorrow night. Those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Thursday, 26 minutes after the hour. The obscure holiday of the day today is Houseplant Appreciation Day. There you go. Holidays are over. You put away all the decorations. The house is kind of gray and drab. It's kind of gray and drab outside, so bring in some houseplants. Take care of your houseplants if you have some. If you don't have any, go out and get some houseplants. Houseplants are good for you. They're therapeutic. They lift your mood. They're easy to take care of. They have a certain calming effect on a lot of people. And if you're a gardener, it's great because you get to play in the dirt until spring arrives. Yeah, so don't forget your houseplants. And growing houseplants and taking care of them is easy. A little sunlight, a little water, a little fertilizer here and there, and a little love. That's all it takes. Houseplant Appreciation Day. I quite frankly need more houseplants, especially this time of the year. They really liven up the house, don't they, this time of the year? 27 minutes after the hour, birthdays, a couple of rock and roll legends. One that we lost many, many years ago. The great Jim Croce was born on this day back in 1943. Only lived to the age of 30. Of course, perished in a plane crash. He had 2 #1 hits on the Billboard Hot 100. Bad, Bad Leroy Brown. He lived to see that song go to #1, and then Time in a Bottle, which unfortunately was a posthumous #1 for Jim Croce. Plus, don't mess around with Jim. Operator, I Got a Name. He didn't leave us a lot of music, but what he did is really good. Jim Croce was born in the state of 1943. Donald Fagen, one half of Steely Dan. He's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He is 71 years old today. Steely Dan still active on the road, even though Walter Becker, his partner in crime, passed away a couple of years ago. Happy 71st, Donald Fagen. And happy 70th birthday to George Foreman. There you go. George Foreman. He's got 4 boys. They're all named George. You gotta love that guy. And you know what? I gotta be honest with you. I have a George Foreman grill, and I use it. I like it. There's George. George Foreman is 70 years old, and I think he's retired from boxing now. Did I forget today in history? I put it in the wrong order, didn't I? You want to do it anyway? Sure. Let's do today in history. I'm sorry. My notes are messed up. What am I doing here? This is the 2068th anniversary of that. What is that? That's the Rubicon. It was on this date, January 10th, 49 BC, that Julius Caesar crossed the Rubicon River. He had his area, Julius Caesar did. The rest of the Romans hierarchy said, okay, Jerry, that's your neck of the woods, that's your real estate. Don't try and make yourself bigger. Don't try and take more property, because property meant power back in those days. Don't cross the Rubicon. That's your border right there. Jerry Caesar said, no, I'm going anyway. And we all know what happened. And of course, now crossing the Rubicon is an idiom, meaning I'm not turning back. Common Sense, one of the greatest pamphlets, maybe the greatest pamphlet in American history, was first published. Thomas Paine's Common Sense. 243 years ago today, it was read in taverns and public gatherings. Considering there was only 2.5 million people in the United States in 1776, almost every adult person read Common Sense or had it read to them. As of 2016, it remains the all-time best-selling pamphlet in American history and is still in print today. Common Sense hit bookstores, if you will, on this day 243 years ago. Today is the 118th anniversary of the great Spindletop Gusher. It blew in Spindletop, Beaumont, Texas. Boom. Oh, wow, there's oil in Texas. And there they came, the first great Texas gusher. It gushed for 9 days, about 100,000 barrels of oil per day before they could finally get the thing capped. And then, whoop, everybody moved to Texas and got into the petroleum business. And it's still going. And January 10th, 1984, 35 years ago today, after 117 years, they finally reestablished diplomatic relations between the United States and the Holy See, the Vatican. The Congress in 1867 said we will not have diplomatic relations with the Catholic Church, and they did change their mind on this date back in 1984. And finally, I think we're ready to move forward. I don't know why I did that, Megan. That's flip-flopping around. I had to take a cold shower this morning. That's probably why. Everyone is entitled to Mike McNally's opinion is coming up, plus my conversation with Diana Haglund. But first, kennel cameos. Let's see if we can get Joshua the cat home.
Hey guys, Megan here with the NCW Life channel. We are here with Renee Parkins, the Development Officer of the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, and joining us this week is Joshua.
Joshua he is looking for a home. He is a good boy. He's probably between 2 and 5. He is a really friendly, playful, curious guy that is just looking for somebody who wants to have a companion that's going to be pretty close and kind of be a sidekick for them.
And what kind of home is he looking for?
You know, he seems pretty friendly and curious. It's hard to tell if he was around other cats or other dogs. He might be better in a one cat only home, but you know, with cats sometimes you just have to kind of test it out and see. I always recommend if people have children to bring them down, you know, when they're doing an introduction with the cat, to also see how the cat reacts to kids, and just kind of use that as a really good indicator. He has been over grooming himself, so he is sporting some really cute clothes right now. But he's a good boy, and he's really he's a really friendly cat. Yeah. Oh, Joshua.
The Wenatchee Valley Humane Society is located at 1474 South Wenatchee Avenue and is open Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org. Kennel Cameos is supported in part by Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory in Leavenworth. Not only does the Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory have great house-made fudge and super delicious candy and caramel apples, but they also have great doggy treats for your four-legged friends, located at 636 Front Street in Leavenworth. This has been Kennel Cameos at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society.
Walkabout Grill, open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner in downtown Wenatchee and now downtown Leavenworth, where eating out is eating healthy.
Hi, I'm Kevin Prosser, and this is my print shop, Color Effects in Cashmere. Color Effects offers screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing on t-shirts, jerseys, bags, banners, signs, and more. With 30 years experience, you won't be disappointed with the quality and quick turnaround times you will get at more than a fair price. Please call Color FX.
Antique Mall at Cashmere wishes you a happy and prosperous new year. With 15,000 square feet to explore, Antique Mall at Cashmere has something for everyone. For repurposing projects, do-it-yourselfers, and those with a keen eye for making something old fresh and new again, this is the place to find your next project. Antique Mall at Cashmere, their friendly staff is here to help you. Stop on by today.
Since 1932, Camp Seneca, nestled on the beautiful shores of Lake Wenatchee, has provided children grades 1 through 12 with the ideal location for kids to learn new skills, have fun, and make friends while creating memories that will last a lifetime. Camp Seneca's rustic log cabins and their staff serve to provide each group a unique summer camp experience. Register for Camp Seneca today, www.campfirencw.org.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnati, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, so a business person wants to advertise his or her business, and they hire some famous person like, I don't know, Bozo the Clown. And Bozo says, hey, I'm Bozo, and my good friend so-and-so is the person you should trust to buy your next used car from. Something like that. Now, my question is, does said business person really believe that the rest of us are just dumb bunnies, and we're going to think that they and Bozo are these really great buds, and Bozo's endorsing words are not really only something that the business person paid Bozo to say? I mean, come on. You know, it's bad enough that politicians assume that we're stupid. Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnati, and that's my opinion.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
If you're stuck trying to find the perfect beer for you, look no further than Badger Mountain Brewing. We specialize in creating tantalizing craft beers that will soothe any picky taste buds and will satisfy your cravings. Check out everything from our amazing honey blonde that will appease even the most finicky taster, or a delicious frothy stout for dark beer lovers. Experience them all at Badger Mountain Brewing.
I'm Jenny Rojanasatian, and this is Guada TV. Every week we will be bringing you a first look at North Central Washington business, tech, and education news. You'll hear from local influencers and innovators who live right here in the Valley. Together, we'll discuss hot topics, current events, and resources that can support your business, our schools, and this community. Join me every week, and let's get inspired.
Welcome back. I am Dan Kuntz. I am always pleasantly surprised when somebody sends me an email and says, hey, Dan, can I be on your show? Because the first thing I think of is they've obviously never seen the show. But not only has Diana Haglund seen the show, she's been on the show, and she's on the show again. I went back to look at the records. Diana is the communications director for the Wenatchee School District. I'm trying to think how many times you've done the show.
I don't know, but I think I should have a VIP parking spot out back.
Well, you can use Brenda's. She's out of town. Next time, park in Brenda's
all right.
spot.
We'll make that arrangement.
So when it says reserved for Brenda, you just go ahead and use that.
Sounds good to me.
You reached out to me last week because you got so many things going on at the Wenatchee School District. It's been in the news in many respects lately. And first thing out of the box, this is, as we tape this on this Wednesday, Monday night's board meeting, you got a brand new board member.
We do. We're really excited to announce our new board member, Karina Vega-Villa, has joined us. She's an adjunct instructor at Wenatchee Valley College in the biology department and also oversees their MESA program, so helping students transition from the community college to a four-year degree in STEM. So she brings a really great set of skills and a real strong passion for education. So we are thrilled to have her on our board. And an interesting fact is this is the first time in Wenatchee School District history that we've had an all-female board.
It's about darn time.
So we're making history right now.
Yeah, it's about 40 years too late, but I'm all for it. I have no problem with that. It was kind of strange. Walter Newman stepped down back in November, so we went down to a 4-member board. The position was posted, it was open, if you're interested, get a hold of us. And then for a long time, nothing happened. And then right at the last minute, like the last 2 or 3 days before the deadline for applicants, you got flooded.
We did.
Yeah.
You know, and I think last time I was here, it was right around the holidays, and we were thinking, well, it's the holidays and people are busy and they're focusing on their families. But hoping that was an opportunity for people to talk with their families about the potential of applying, because it really is a big commitment. It's a big job. So we were thrilled to have 14 applicants that were then narrowed down to 5, and then we arrived at appointment for Karina. So we're glad to have her on board.
And that must have been a difficult decision, because obviously the 5 people who were down to the final vetting process and actually interviewed in the open meeting with the 4 board members, they all obviously were qualified or they wouldn't have made the final 5.
Yeah, it was the tremendous pool of talent. Great applicants, so it was a very big challenge. I wasn't in the final deliberations when the board made the decision, but I did see the finalists for the interviews. They were all incredible, so it was an incredibly difficult choice, but I think we've got a wonderful person on our board now, and we're excited to get her started. And last night was her first board meeting, so we swore her in and away she went.
Let's, in fact, we'll show some photos of the actual swearing-in ceremony, including photos of her family. There's a brand new judge, Travis Brandt, signing all the paperwork and everything. Anything particular that stood out with Karina that made her the final choice? I mean, they were down to 5, and then they have to pick the one. Was there any one particular part of her interview or the process or her background that put her over the top?
You know, I think overall, just everything about Karina, she really brings a bicultural sensitivity and understanding. She is working in education, so she truly understands the process. You know, she's not spent a lot of time in K-12, so there's some learning to be done there, but she really has a desire to learn, and she's an advocate for youth and an advocate for education. So I think that probably made her stand out. But again, tough decision by our board, and I think she was the whole package, and again, we're excited to have her with us.
And as Diana mentioned, you have to do a lot of work for no money, essentially. We've seen the packets. You know, we get the packets, we can download them, and we look at them for upcoming school board meetings to see if there's something we want to cover. And they have to go through a lot of paperwork and a lot of budgets and a lot of requests and this, that, and the other thing. It's a lot of reading.
It is. Our packets can sometimes be 200 pages, so it is a lot of content that they have to go through. You know, they're reviewing all of our board policies. They're, approving our consent agenda, payroll, all those types of things, and then having to make some tough decisions on things. And also, they're going to have to choose our next superintendent. So that's the next big thing for the board. Actually, we're right in the thick of that and getting ready to move into the final phase of that process.
Yeah, where are we on that? I know you're going to put together a committee to kind of set the parameters and the guidelines to march down the field, if you pardon the football metaphor. Where are we on that?
Yeah, so where we're at right now is we have final interviews scheduled for February 19th, 20th, 21st, and 22nd. So we're planning on having 4 finalists. It could be 3, but that's kind of the plan for right now. The first round of interviews will actually be in early February. So the board will meet with those candidates and then narrow that field down to about, like I said, 3 to 4. So that'll happen towards the end of February when we do those final interviews. But the community is invited to participate in that final interview process. And we're currently recruiting community members, parents, and students to apply for what we're calling our stakeholder interview committee. It'll be made up of about 20 people, including school staff. It is an application process, and the application's available on our website, wenatcheeschools.org. And people can apply to serve on that committee, and we'll be doing a drawing for those positions at our board meeting on January 22nd.
Seems the fair way to do it.
Yeah, and the great thing is that this committee, so representative of all of our stakeholder groups, will have a chance to meet with the finalists and ask some questions of them and really just get a feel for who they are and how they'd fit in as our next superintendent. And then they'll be able to provide some feedback to the board. Ultimately, it's the board's decision who they want to select as our next superintendent, but the more feedback and the more voices we can have in that process, the more informed of a decision they can make.
Outgoing Superintendent Brian Flonis, what's his role going to be in all this? Is he going to be all the way from the beginning to the end of the process, or is he going to step aside or be just there but not really participating in the selection of his replacement?
Yeah, he right now Brian is really kind of off to the side, really focusing on managing our current business in the school district. He's really allowing the school board to work with our consultants through that process and trying not to influence that too much. There will be an opportunity though once we've selected our final candidate for them to meet with Brian and really kind of work on that transition process. So they'll get some time in with him.
And it should be noted that because of the way they have, the state legislature last year changed the way the school districts were being funded, that's a whole nother challenge coming your way, because all of a sudden it's like, whoa, we had money that we used to have isn't there anymore.
Yeah.
And it's not just the Wenatchee School District, there's others as well.
Yeah, we are certainly not alone in dealing with some budget challenges right now. Our board's going to have a workshop on the 17th of this month to really take a deep dive into how we're going to handle some of those shortfalls in our budget and what our next steps are going to be. But a lot of school districts are having those conversations right now, and I imagine the legislative session will be full of educators up on the Hill talking with their legislators and wanting to maybe make some changes in policy and how education is funded, because right now it's a challenge.
It is a challenge. It's not the way it used to be.
Yeah.
It makes the state Supreme Court happy, but that's about it, what I've been able to tell. And it's critically important that whoever the new superintendent is has a really good relationship with the lawmakers in Olympia, the Mike Steeles and the Keith Gaynors and the Mr. Hawkins. They need to make sure that they're on the same page, because they're the ones who are actually going to be there in Olympia fighting the fight.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
and I think this stakeholder engagement in that selection process is really going to be important, because we need to get a sense of how this person is going to engage with our community partners, our community leaders, our students, our parents, really everybody. And so again, this is that opportunity for folks to provide that feedback. So we're looking for more applicants. I think right now, I checked the numbers before I came here, we have about 25 people that have applied for those positions. We'd like to see more. So we've got a little bit of time before we shut that down and do that drawing on the 22nd, but we'd love to have as many people apply as possible. The other opportunity for folks to get involved in that superintendent search process with the finalists we'll have open community forums February 19th through the 22nd for each one of the candidates. Those will be from 3:30 to 5 at Wenatchee High School, and those are open for anybody to attend.
It's a big job. There's over 7,000 kids alone in the school district, and you put in your teachers and your administrators and your support staff. The superintendent of the Wenatchee School District it's a high-profile, very important job. One of the most important jobs in the Valley.
It is. There's a lot of things to manage, complicated budgets, you name it. It is a big job. And those are big shoes to fill. We're going to be sad to see Brian go, but we're hopeful and optimistic that we're going to get a really great candidate that's going to be able to just slide right in and continue the excellence that's happened in our district.
And there's going to be a significant, lengthy transition, because you hope to have a new superintendent on late winter, early spring at the latest, but Brian isn't leaving the office until the end of summer, till the end of August.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you have quite a bit of transition time there.
Yeah, and there'll be some time too for the new soup to get to know everybody, also spend some time with our board as well as they make that transition. At this point too, we're trying to get through some of the budgeting and some of the contract negotiations that we have in place right now, just so that when this new person comes on board, it's I don't want to say a clean slate, but we've addressed maybe some of the big concerns and big issues right now, so that person can slide in and really just kind of jump in and keep the ball rolling.
Technology survey. She can explain this a lot better than I can. What exactly is that?
So we have joined a group called Speak Up. It's a national survey for technology in schools. And what they do is they provide us with this really great surveying tool that we can push out to our families, our students, and our staff to really get a sense of what their priorities are for technology, how they feel it should be used in the classroom, how they feel us as educators should be using that to communicate. So it's a survey that would probably take about 15 minutes, but really, really important for folks to fill out to tell us what those priorities are as we make plans for how we use technology in our classrooms. And again, how we use technology to communicate with our different stakeholders. It's available on our website, wenatcheeschools.org, and that's open to anybody to complete: community members, parents, students, as well as staff.
There are a number of school districts that have embraced this iPod kind of thing, iPad thing, in which the kids don't have to worry about carrying books around with them all the time. They're issued at the start of the school year, they're issued something along these lines. and the teachers can put the homework in it, and the kids can go home and use this device with free internet or whatever, and they can just basically, they carry around this thing that's issued by the school. They get it in September and they turn it back in June, and no more textbooks to carry around and stuff like that. You can, I don't know,
we do have one-to-one classrooms in many of our schools. You know, it's an emerging trend where everything is done digitally. And yeah, we eliminate the need for books and paper and those types of things. So it really helps students become digital citizens and digital learners. We don't have that in all of our buildings though, which is, you know, a little bit of a disadvantage for some kids. One of the challenges we do have with technology is that as soon as you buy it, you know, it's out of date. And so there's constantly that process of needing to update and add new equipment and technology. So I'm glad you brought that up, because something that will be coming out in our February newsletter is a story about a new program that we have called Computers for Kids. There's a community member here in our valley, a retired person from the tech industry. His name is Matt Lang, excuse me. And what Matt does is he refurbishes technology. So iPads, iPods, even laptop computers and desktop computers. So he refurbishes those and then he donates them back to kids in our school district, because we have an expectation, you know, that kids have access, but they don't always have access to devices at home. And then the next challenge is, how do we get them hooked up with internet? Because not all families have internet at home. So the great thing about this program, and I can always come back and talk more about it.
Absolutely, we'll put you down for that.
Is, you know, Matt donates these things, and then we're also going to be hosting some trainings for those families that receive the donated stuff, and how they can go about leveraging technology and internet access in public places like the library. So helping them use those tools so that they can use them effectively.
It's funny, it was a luxury not that long ago to have a computer, and now it's a necessary tool for education, for everything. Everybody has a computer. And if they don't, you need one, or you're going to fall behind the 8-ball real quick.
Yeah.
A little 8-ball metaphor there. Good for me, Dan. So let's see here. February 7th, Confluence Technology Center. I'm giving you $50.
Yep, $50.
And what am I getting for
I'm going to train you on soft skills, because that's super important right now. Our Valley, Our Future did a survey and issued a white paper a couple years ago now, where they talked with employers to find out where were the gaps in the workforce. And one of the biggest gaps that they identified time after time was soft skills. In not only our current employees, but in our youth and people that are coming into the workforce. So in response to that, we created the Wenatchee Valley Professional Development Summit. So the Wenatchee School District, in partnership with Employment Security, the Chamber, SkillSource, came together and created kind of a workshop style conference where folks in our community could come and learn from local experts who are really excelling in customer service and soft skills. So there's somebody you might see at Safeway, but somebody you might know in the community who's really doing an excellent job. You can learn exactly how they're doing that and take some tips from them.
And that's one of the one of the worst parts, or one of the drawbacks of our point and click and shop at home philosophy that people have just embraced, and they've gone crazy. They're going away from brick and mortar, and that means you're not interacting with people on a daily basis anymore. You're not, you would go out and see 200 people on a regular day, be it grocery shopping and then going to your accountant and then picking the kid up from school and going out to dinner. That's becoming less and less of a skill. People don't have that anymore.
Yeah, and soft skills in education, we call them 21st century skills. It's how do you collaborate with others, it's leadership, it's just communication. Those are really critical skills for anybody, no matter how old you are, and employers are seeing gaps in the workforce. So we're really hoping to help fill that gap through this type of an event. And folks can register on the Chamber's website, Wenatchee.org, if they'd like to attend that event. At the end of the day, the Wenatchee Valley Community Foundation. Wenatchee Valley College Foundation is going to be hosting a networking summit or session where folks can come and after they've attended all these different sessions, they've built those skills up, and then they can deploy them in more of a social type of an atmosphere. So they can shake hands and make eye contact and network. And then it's kind of a nice way to wrap things up. We'll also have a keynote speaker. His name is Andy Vargo. He's a local, I shouldn't say local, Northwest comedian and a really great motivational speaker. And his whole thing is about owning your awkward. And I love that because I think we all have our own awkward, right? We all have our own brand of that. And his message is, how can you leverage your awkward and turn that into an opportunity and really kind of play that up a little bit in that soft skills space in how you interact with people.
That sounds like it's worth $50 right there.
I can't wait to identify my own awkward.
Deadline is the last day of this month, by the way, right? 31st?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Yeah, and we do expect to sell out, so the sooner you can register, the better. We've sold out the last couple of years for this event.
So new school board members, the search for the new superintendent continues. We talked about the Professional Development Summit. What is that it for the time being?
I think so. Okay. And if you didn't catch all of that, visit our website, wenatcheeschools.org. We have lots of news and information up there, so you can stay up to date with what's going on with the superintendent, who our new board member is, and how to register for the summit, and also fill out that technology survey.
Yes, please do. Please. It doesn't take very long. You got 10 minutes.
You got it, right?
You got it. Right. Diana Haglund, the Communications Director for the Wenatchee School District. My guess is I'll see you again next month.
I'm sure you will. I'll be pulling into that VIP parking spot.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll just put it up reserved for Diana Haglund. That's what we'll do. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. There's no substitute for the power of cable TV advertising. With Solion Cable TV Advertising, you can reach your target audience right here in North Central Washington. We understand their viewing habits and can precisely target your customers on great cable networks like these. Call Solion Broadcasting today and let us show you how to put your business message right in front of thousands of prospects at a very affordable price. Solion Broadcasting, 509-888-2020.
Hi, Justin here, owner of Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere. Club Crow is your place for famous blues, brews, and barbecue. We are your one-stop bar and grill, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Looking for a fun night out? Join us at Club Crow Saturday nights. We have live bands to rock the night away. Club Crow is bringing comedy to Cashmere. Check out our Facebook page for upcoming dates. Live jam session first Sunday of every month. Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere, the coolest place in town.
Hey everyone, Fletcher and Amy Ellington here from Live It Up. In the investment world, ROI stands for Return on Investment. Well, how does better health, better wealth, and better relationships sound for ROI? Join us every week right here on NCW Life and learn how to invest in the most important asset, you.
We're going to answer your questions and provide some weekly inspiration so you can create a life that you love. Join us on Live It Up.
Welcome back. Just a couple minutes left. If you have to be there, wherever it is that you're going by 8 o'clock, you got about 2 minutes. If you have to be there by 7:30, you're about a half an hour late. Let's take one more look at your weather forecast from the National Weather Service. And after all that active weather we had on Thursday, we had about 4.5 inches of snow here in the Wenatchee Valley. Other areas have gotten more. We're going to quiet down quite a bit. There's just one little bitty upper level wave that's going to move through the area today. So upper elevations, you're going to get a little bit of scattered rain mixed with some light snow showers at times, but that's all going to be gone, Johnson, by the end of this afternoon. High today of about 40. That is above normal. We'll see a few sun breaks after the fog burns off a little bit. So not a bad. In fact, we're already seeing a couple of sun breaks right now, and yeah, that 40-degree high. That's pretty warm for this time of year. A little foggy tonight, 32 for the overnight low. We're going to kind of head into that inversion layer that we're all so used to. If you spent any amount of time here in the Wenatchee Valley, it's when the clouds and the fog are prevalent and the sun doesn't come out a great deal, although it is going to be not bad. We'll have a couple of sun breaks today and again on Sunday, but for the most part it's going to be cloudy and foggy. Temperatures, afternoon highs very steady, right around 39 or 40 degrees. Overnight lows will be just slightly below freezing, so we're going to see some snow melt obviously over the next few days, certainly some today, but outside of that it's just going to be pretty dry and pretty stable for most of north central Washington. No precipitation at all in the forecast until we get to Wednesday of next week. Real quickly on the mountain passes, no real problems at all. It's a traction tire advisory on I-90, but it's looking good. It's just some light rain. The roadway's mostly bare and wet. Stevens has a traction tire advisory. It's snowing lightly there. It doesn't look too bad. No advisories or restrictions at all on Blewett Pass. And once they get through about noon today, they are not going to expect any rain in the mountain passes or any precipitation either. Tomorrow we're going to rerun my interview with Matthew Pippin because tonight is opening night of Witness for the Prosecution. Everybody have a great Thursday. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.